Welcome to Built on Faith Homestead or Leaving Egypt, depending on which video platform you like to watch your content on. My name is Justin, and today we're going to turn what was formerly our greenhouse spot that got blown away in the bad weather. We're going to turn it into an early spring raised bed little garden to have right here behind the house, so that my wife, whenever she's cooking dinner or whatever, won't have to go far for some of them early spring vegetables. We can send the kids out and cut vegetables, to cut lettuce and all those kinds of things right here behind the house, nice and close. In today's video, I also want to talk about the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and how they are utilizing a town here in the great state of Missouri for these young leaders that they are trying to promote all around the world. And yes, believe it or not, they are using a small town here in the great state of Missouri. Kind of crazy. A commenter brought this up. I hadn't heard of it, so I did some research on it. And so we'll talk about that as we work, but we need to get this in for our early spring garden. And I'll show you how we are training our young leaders of the future here in this household.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound, oh, that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, oh, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see.
It's amazing what you can do with a shovel, a garden hoe, and a little bit of sweat and work. This over here has not been worked yet, and you can see how it looks versus the dirt that has been worked with just the shovel and the hoe. I put my blocks back around that I had here for the greenhouse. For those of you that watch our channel, you guys know it got blown away. I put our blocks back just to, not to pretty it up, but to cause separation between what will be our raised bed and what will be our yard. We had the chickens in here, remember, and they tore the grass down, and now I am coming back in with the shovel and the garden hoe and making this workable dirt again so that we can get some of our early spring stuff in. We decided to utilize this spot for our early spring stuff, or at least some of it. Got some Detroit dark red beets planted in the little raised bed. Got in some early radish, also planted alongside the beets. Now, I'm in no way affiliated with Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds in Mansfield, Missouri. However, they sent some free seed packs with the order that we had, and one of them was radish, and it's called Japanese wasabi, which, if that's anything like the wasabi that you get when you eat sushi, I'm all about it. I actually really like the stuff, so I'm pretty excited about it. We'll plant it as well. Just can't find good help these days. Yeah. We got just a little space left, so we'll put in a few of our carrots in with this as well. I want you to look at all the worms that is in here. This was like this on the other side as well, side that I'd already done. Every shovelful has got, I don't know, half a dozen worms or better in it. Kind of show you guys what I'm doing. I'm just knocking the top off, flipping it over, breaking it up with my shovel. It's a pretty small little area, so I think this will actually be easier than hooking up the tractor and the disc and the whole 9 yards. This goes pretty quick. It doesn't take long to work your way down a row. And once again, I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but most of these shovelfuls have got worms in it. We had to throw the brakes on the garden planting because it was time to milk. I don't know that I'll get any more planted tonight, which is okay. I just had lettuce and a couple things left. I got about half of that other side of the raised beds tore up, and so getting a little bit of work done. I got little Bobo back there. He likes to sit in his stroller and hang out while I milk. And Leah Joe is sitting over there on the lawnmower talking to our newest animal that I haven't introduced you guys to. I'll introduce you to him here in just a little bit. But for this WEF thing I was talking about, World Economic Forum, you know, the you will own nothing and be happy people. They have started a World Economic Forum hub in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. And Missouri is the state that we live in. Now, this is an initiative that WEF is putting forth to try to get cities to work together to put into place the policies that the WEF deems important. You know, the own nothing and be happy people. And so they are going into all these cities and putting in these hubs to try to get these young leaders to work together. And they're really focused on like the 18 to 30 year olds, right? And that got me to thinking about, you know, what we do with our children. We try to get them out and let them feed animals. We try to get them out and work in the garden. You seen Luella helping me with the garden earlier. Bo's out here hanging out while I milk. What's up, buddy? What are you doing? Huh? I'm milking. What are you doing? Milking Stella, yep. You got anything else you want to say? No, you good? So, we try to influence our children that way. Most of all, we try to influence them to serve the Lord the best that they can, knowing that we're all going to fail from time to time. But to love the Lord and to serve the Lord the best that they can. Trying to put that impression on them children when they are young. So hopefully they can recognize things like the WEF and the UN, who, by the way, are all working together to put forth the Agenda 2030. That's not my tinfoil hat wearing thoughts. You can find that verifiable online pretty easy. It doesn't take long to do a little bit of research and see that's what is going on. The world is going to influence your children anyhow. And so, what we want to do, and so I don't know about you, but I'm not too happy with the idea of the WEF putting a hub in the state that I live in. It's not something that gives me the feel goods. What about you? The state that you live in, would it give you the feel goods that the WEF, you'll own nothing and be happy 15-minute city types are putting in hubs in your state to try to get your towns, your cities, your states to abide by the policies that they and the UN are working together to put forth? Does that make you feel good? Does it give you the comfies? No doubt we are quickly advancing through biblical prophecy. Worldwide government isn't on the way. It's already here. All right, Leah Joe, who's this?
Forrest.
Who's Forrest? That cow?
Yeah.
So Forrest, we got from the guy that gives us our square bales or sells us our square bales for our milk cow. Forrest was born completely blind. He can't see a thing. He walks around in circles most of the time. So we have him in this pen. The guy that's got the square bales, he called me and said, hey, I've got this steer if you're interested in trying to raise him up. He is blind and he can't see, and he needs to be in something that's not where he can't really get hurt in very easily. And so we built this pen underneath this roof in the back end of this hay barn where he'll get sunshine, but he can also get in the shade. He's got him some water. He's got him some feed over here. And he is starting to get really comfortable in his pen. He's getting to where he comes right up to us. And this is the newest addition to the little homestead here. So if you're keeping track, that's one blind steer, one milk cow that only's got 3 udders that work, a handful of rabbits, and a handful of chickens, and some gardening. It ain't much, but it's a start. And it will definitely help out the grocery bill as the year goes on. Time to get these kids inside and get the milk inside and maybe eat a little bite. So we will catch up with you guys on the next video.